Imagine opening your eyes to a world transformed by absolute silence. The hum of traffic, the distant laughter of children, the rhythm of countless lives unfolding. All of it has vanished. You step outside, expecting to see neighbors tending their gardens, delivery trucks rumbling by, the ordinary bustle of a city waking up. Instead, you are greeted by stillness. The streets are empty, the buildings stand as silent sentinels, and the only sound is the wind rustling through leaves. You are alone, the last human on Earth. The first moments are filled with disbelief and confusion. You wander, calling out, searching for any sign of life. Every door you open, every empty room you enter, deepens the mystery. Where did everyone go? Was it a sudden event? A mysterious disappearance? A catastrophe you somehow survived? Or was it gradual, a slow vanishing that you only now notice? The cause may be unknown, but the reality is undeniable. You are the sole survivor in a world built for billions. Survival becomes your immediate concern. The conveniences of modern life, once taken for granted, now present both opportunities and challenges. Supermarkets are fully stocked, but with no one to restock shelves, you must choose carefully. Perishable foods will spoil quickly without refrigeration, so you prioritize canned goods, dried foods, and bottled water. You realize that, for a time, the abundance left behind will sustain you. But eventually, supplies will dwindle, and you'll need to think about long-term survival. Growing your own food, finding clean water, and protecting yourself from the elements. Electricity is another pressing issue. The grid, unattended, will soon fail. Power plants require constant maintenance, and without workers, outages are inevitable. You gather batteries, solar panels, and generators, scavenging what you can from hardware stores and abandoned homes. You learn to make do with less, adapting to the rhythms of daylight and darkness. Technology, once ubiquitous, becomes a luxury. Your smartphone, your laptop, even your car are only as useful as the energy you can provide them. As days turn into weeks, the psychological weight of solitude settles in. Humans are social creatures, wired for connection. Without the presence of others, even the most introverted person begins to feel the strain. You talk to yourself, narrating your actions aloud just to hear a voice. You leave notes in empty buildings, messages to a future you or to anyone who might return. You may even invent imaginary companions, giving names and personalities to stuffed animals or mannequins. Anything to break the relentless silence. The world around you begins to change. Without human intervention, nature reclaims its space. Grass pushes through cracks in the pavement, vines creep up the sides of skyscrapers, and animals venture into abandoned cities. Deer graze in parks, birds nest in traffic lights, and over time, predators like wolves or coyotes may return to places they once avoided. Domestic animals, dogs, cats, livestock, struggle to survive without care, some adapting, others perishing. You find yourself sharing the world with creatures who no longer fear the presence of humans. As months pass, the infrastructure of civilization begins to decay. Buildings deteriorate without maintenance, windows shatter, roofs collapse, and roads crumble. Water plants and sewage systems fail, forcing you to seek clean sources of water, rivers, lakes, rainwater collected in barrels. You become more resourceful, learning skills once considered obsolete: how to hunt and fish, how to build shelter, how to make fire without matches. The conveniences of the modern world fade, replaced by a simpler, more primal existence. The psychological journey continues. Loneliness becomes your constant companion, sometimes a shadow at the edge of your thoughts, sometimes an overwhelming presence. You remember friends and family replaying conversations and memories in your mind. Holidays and birthdays pass unmarked, time losing its meaning without the structure of society. You may find solace in books, music, or art, remnants of humanity's creativity left behind. Or perhaps you create your own rituals, marking the passage of days with small celebrations or acts of remembrance. You wonder about the cause of this mass disappearance. Was it a pandemic, a cosmic event, a technological accident? Was it something supernatural, or simply an inexplicable twist of fate? The search for answers becomes a quest, driving you to explore libraries, laboratories, and government buildings in the hope of finding clues. You piece together fragments of information, constructing theories, but the truth remains elusive. In the end, the cause may matter less than the reality you now face. As the years go by, adaptation becomes your greatest strength. You learn to live with uncertainty, to find beauty in solitude, to appreciate the resilience of nature. You become a caretaker of memory, preserving what you can of human knowledge and culture. Perhaps you record your experiences in journals or videos, leaving a record for anyone or anything that might come after. You become both the last witness and the final storyteller of a vanished world. Extreme survival tactics become part of your routine. You learn to identify edible plants, to trap small animals, to purify water using improvised filters. You build defenses against wild animals, secure shelter from storms, and prepare for the changing seasons. You scavenge for clothing and tools, repurpose materials, and invent new solutions to old problems. Your ingenuity is constantly tested, and you discover strengths you never knew you had. Yet, even in the face of overwhelming loneliness, hope persists. Perhaps you search for signs of other survivors, leaving messages in prominent places, scanning radio frequencies for a human voice. You imagine that somewhere, someone else might be searching for you. The possibility, however remote, gives you purpose and keeps you moving forward. In time, you may come to see your solitude not only as a curse, but as an opportunity. You are free to explore the world without limits, to witness the transformation of cities into forests, to observe the cycles of nature unimpeded by human activity. You become both observer and participant in the great unfolding of life, a solitary figure in the vast theatre of existence. Being the last human on Earth is a profound and unsettling experience, one that challenges every aspect of survival, psychology, and adaptation. It is a journey into the unknown, where the boundaries of possibility are constantly redrawn. In the silence of an empty world, you discover not only the fragility of civilization, but also the enduring strength of the human spirit.